Greetings, everybody. I am Sophia Pondo in Nairobi, and we welcome our viewers in Kenya and around the globe. This program takes a global and exclusive look at sensitive issues affecting the public directly and indirectly, what that will mean for us in the long run, and what we can do about it. We will discuss subject matters like politics, economics, health, education, arts, and culture. Let us dive right in by taking a look at major stories around the world.
This new memoir called Becoming
is already the best-selling book of 2018.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama's new book Becoming sold over 1.4 million copies in its first week. The release of this memoir will soon add New York Times bestseller to her lengthy resume. Becoming sold 750,000 copies on its first day. It has become one of the fastest-selling memoirs of 2018, outselling Hillary Clinton's latest What Really Happened and Bob Woodward's Tell All, Fear, Trump in the White House. President Uhuru Kenyatta has banned the importation of fish from China in Kenya. The president said the Chinese fish was strangling the local market. He said, although the finance bill of 2018 was signed to law, it does not mean that the imports be replaced with what is available in the local market. His sentiments come amidst public outcry over the unregulated importation of fish from China.
Jameni, tunatoa samaki kutoka China na wenzetu hapa ya? Hata kama finance bill imepita, you think out of the box. Tunaweza kusema hiyo samaki ambayo imefika ni mbaya. Right?
International Men's Day gives people an opportunity to signal the acceptance of healthy masculinities and remind ourselves to check in with the men in our lives who may have problems embracing those ideas for themselves. There are health risks that men often have to deal with at a higher rate. Men are more likely to commit suicide and hide mental health issues due to the stereotype of what a man ought to be. This year's International Men's Day isn't about so much celebrating masculinity as it is about questioning it. It is about making sure men know that, contrary to how they may feel, their own issues are being regarded publicly. People care about their health and their well-being. People online are pointing out that the holiday is actually important and essential, and an opportunity to discuss mental health. American Foundation for Suicide Prevention reports that men die by suicide 3.5 times more often than women, and studies have suggested that men are more likely to become homeless than women. In addition to mental health, people are using the day to talk about physical health issues that some men might experience, like testicular and prostate cancer. But in addition to highlighting mental health and other issues, the trending hashtag is reminding men that it is okay to express their feelings. There shouldn't be stigma associated with being open with one's emotion, regardless of gender identity. Sadly, our society sometimes places shame on men who are emotional, which could prevent people from seeking the help they need. It is important to remember that there's nothing shameful about going to therapy or being open about struggles you might face. Suicide is the biggest cause for death for men under 35, yet men are less likely to access psychological therapies than women. We need to break the stigma and end the silence. Do not man up. It's time to talk. Feel free to let us know what you think. My Twitter handle is @opondo_Sophie. Moving on to the next segment, we have our correspondent Henrik Mugabu. Henrik, why are men reluctant to seek medical help when it comes to mental health matters?
First of all, traditionally men are supposed to be strong, and strong both emotionally, physically, and mentally. So when you talk about mental health, it's like a sign of weakness. So men see it as a weakness. So they don't come out, they don't tell the help that they need, they don't talk about anything like that. Yeah.
We are receiving feedback from various places. I cannot read all of them, but I can sample out a few.
Thank you for having me. Men basically are the strong ones in the family. The main reason why they don't come out when they are suffering through issues, whether mental or emotional, is because they are not supposed to show any weakness. If men show weakness in the family, what will be of the weaker ones? That is usually our ideology about being strong as men in the family. For that, being the main reason why they tend to show their strength. They show their strength in different ways. Authority, some exercise authority, some humor, some an outer shell, emotional shell around them. And for this reason, it makes it a bit difficult to discover when a man is going through depression. And some of the most difficult people to discover when they are going through depression are the humorous ones, because they hide it, they hide their depression in their laughter. Yet depression is much deeper than just laughter and sadness. It doesn't show with the outer. So we need to check ourselves within and find out if we are mentally stable, depressionally, or not. Thank you. The women going through breast cancer as a society, we should be able to first, number one, be able to appreciate the situation of breast cancer, accept our women as they are, and give them the support as men. And further to that is to remember also that breast cancer does not only affect women, but also men can be affected by breast cancer. So let us just be there for people who are going through breast cancer and give the necessary support, whether it is financially, whether it is emotional, whether it is working with them to the medical facilities. Just be there for them whenever they are going through a breast cancer situation. My advice to men in working with our women who are going through breast cancer, number one, don't leave your woman. Don't separate with your wife just because she has been affected by breast cancer. Work with her. Find a way you can find medication and intervention, and the earlier, the better it is for us. Support our women whenever they are going through breast cancer. Offer financial support, emotional support. Sometimes even it is just about work in the home when they are going through medication. Just be there for them, and also encourage with the children and other family members who might also be affected with this breast cancer. Number three, also take the test together with our women. It does not only affect the women, it also affects men. Let this thing come out, let awareness go out there that it can happen to anyone and you're not any special. So just be there for our society.
I think that mental health is something that's underrated among men. I think that it's something that should be addressed. I think it's something that that the common stereotype of a man has completely contradicted addressing mental health. Yeah, it's a contradiction.
So what have you been doing as a man? What have you done about it in your circles?
I think that's a tricky question, because what can we do? What can a man do except try to be accountable and there for the people around him, his friends, his brother, his father, his son. I think the best we can do right now is just try to be the best version of ourselves to the people we love and hold dear.
Thank you, I'm Brian. I think in Africa and Kenya today mostly, mental health for men and young men has been underlooked and undermined and underrated in many ways, because the African way to look at it is most people, the attitude towards it is man up as the man or the male figure. You're always weighted upon by society to just sort yourself out, and that leaves a whole gap for us in dealing with our issues.
Many mental illnesses affect both men and women. However, men may be less likely to talk about their feelings and seek help. Recognizing the signs that someone may have a mood or a mental disorder is the first step towards healing, towards getting treatment, and living a better life. Men and women experience many of the same mental disorders, but their willingness to talk about their feelings may be very different. This is one of the reasons that their symptoms may be very different as well. For example, some men with depression or an anxiety disorder hide their emotions and may appear to be angry or aggressive, while many women will express sadness. Some men may turn to drugs or alcohol to try to cope with their emotional issues. Sometimes mental health symptoms appear to be physical issues, for example, a racing heart, tightening chest, ongoing headaches, and digestive issues can be a sign of an emotional problem. Our culture doesn't always leave space for men to express their inner struggle. As a society, we should try to change that. It's not a man's issue, it is our society's issues. Broken men lead to broken homes. I am Sophie Opondo. This is SON Network. Love. Miss Dan.
Umemaliza? Kuna kitu unarudia?